Happy New Year to everyone who's watching this video. This is the unprofessional toy reviewer Hasbro. I'm alive. That's right, I'm back behind the camera. Thanks for giving me a couple of weeks to heal my wounds. But I'm back to bring you the very first exciting video of 2019 on this channel, which is Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Decepticon Shockwave. Right. Our very first leader class action figure. It's the spotlight of the reviewing station for the brand new Transformers Siege line, which of course, I love this line so far. So taking a look at the packaging is partake of every single video review on this channel, and as you can see we got the open window container here with a very nice symbol in the back, and we'll look at this again in just a moment, believe me. On the side here it says Decepticon Shockwave, Decepticon logo all banged up, Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy, ages 8 and plus, Hasbro's logo, Transformers, Takara Tomi's logo, to the Misaligned Generations logo at what should be the top right corner, but it's not really there. Taking a look on this side of the packaging, and here we got that very nice artwork that looks like it could be an amazing poster to hang on my wall somewhere around here. And down below that artwork we have the authentic Transformers stamp, which, to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy. On the other side of the packaging, and here we have a very nice artwork of Shockwave here with a red eye. I always thought it was yellow. Boy, he must be unleashing some kind of fury, right? It also looks like he's standing in front of some lab. Probably his, since he is quite the scientist. Leader class action figure. There's an arm laying on the ground next to Shockwave. I'm sure he has something to do with that. He's a mad genius, I tell you. A mad genius! Or maybe it's because Megatron told him to do it. And even though I don't have a black light on me, if you actually shine this up in light, you can actually see that there is some hidden messages around this whole side of the packaging. Like, for some reason, they have War for Cybertron. And you can probably see this one pretty well. As I mentioned, we were going back to the symbol, which you saw right here for the background of the packaging. It's also here as a hidden message for the figure. There is some more hidden messages right here. And right there where it actually says leader class, there's actually one more message here. It says Shockwave and Transformers. It's kind of hard to see, but it is there. And taking a look at the back of the packaging, and here we've got Shockwave all armored up. Right next to that, we've got normal Shockwave riding some kind of monstrosity here. Pretty cool. And as I did say, he is number 14 of the War for Cybertron series. 28 steps of transformation from taking him from his monstrosity creation here to his Starship mode, which looks pretty cool. And the one thing that I truly did miss does return to the back of the packaging for this line of figures, and that is other options that are available at the moment, like Ultra Magnus. Though I think it's pretty creative how they put select opponent instead of also available. Very nice. Get the top of the packaging in case you wanted to know. And here's a look at the bottom of the packaging, which also has, once again, the authentic Transformer stamp, which, to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. Right, so before we go to Shockwave, obviously what you really want to see out of this video, let's take a look at what other contents comes out of this set, and that is the instruction manual. No trading card this series. I'm fine with that. And here's a good look at the instructions here, which I really shouldn't be showcasing because this isn't a Studio Series figure like I had intended, but oh well. And here's a look at the back side of the instructions here. And taking a look at the bottom here, you can see we got some specific details about the weapons for Shockwave, such as the Gamma Disruptor Launcher, the Thermal Range Neuron Beam, and the Dual Pulse Radiograph. Also, here's some specific information about the Battle Masters and Micromaster combinations with these set, and we'll look more into detail about that in its own time. Alright, so here's Shockwave, the figure that you wanted to see in his Starship mode, and this looks good. Yes, I know, it's not G1 accurate, but I love the attention to detail here and the add-ons that this leader class figure has to offer. Otherwise, it'd be just a Voyager class figure, which I'm sure a lot of people wanted anyway. All the detail that this figure has to offer here. Yeah, maybe he's a little too much purple here. I would have preferred if he were a lighter purple, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. And as you can see, his eye here actually makes up the top of the tower here, and it does have a light piping feature. Light goes on, light goes off. And we got some turrets here. The only problem is they don't rotate. Of course, though, you also have some main cannons here in the back by the wings. You got some cannons here. Taking a look at the back of the Starship, and here we got some magnificent thrusters. This figure is definitely going to reach light speed, no problem. And taking a look at the front here, where we got some more cannons and photon lasers, I guess, and the very nice looking turbine in the front. That is very nice detail. But is it just me, or does this definitely desire an LED? My only nitpick that I've got with this mode is just the wire here doesn't like to stay pegged in place. You can move it anywhere else. There's actually like a hole, like right here or right here. But as instructed, it's supposed to go right here, and it just barely stays in there. It is a very loose fit. Here's a look at the bottom of the Starship mode. It's very cool. There's a little bit of some gaps here and there, but hey, it's a toy. What do you expect? It's not a masterpiece. I do have some landing gear here, which I almost forgot to mention. It's very small and it really doesn't work that well, but hey, it does kind of get away with it. There's a hole right here where you could attach one of those SH figure art stands to have it displaying up in the air. I'm sure it would look nice, but unfortunately I don't have any at the time. Alright, enough gushing over this awesome Starship mode. Let's do a scale comparison. So let's dare to compare with some other Voyager figures such as C.H.U.G Optimus Prime and Megatron. And as you can see, this is where the leader class scale comes into play. He's not a Voyager scale figure in any means in this mode. But that's pretty much going to do it. So let's go ahead and separate these pieces here like so. Come from the side. And if you have fingernails, this would be so much easier. The turns here, you might have to flip them over because there are these pegs actually attached to the bottom right there. Fold these down, and this front section should detach, no problem. And that doesn't look too bad either, does it? Alright, so we can take these add-ons here and toss them to the side. The same on this side. Fold down these flaps like so, and rotate this sucker around like so. Fold down the landing gear. And here you got your standard Generation 1 Shockwave action figure in its cannon mode. Yeah, there's no denying it. Hasbro knows what they were doing. Yeah, sure, by law standards, we can't actually have any more transformable gun action figures, especially one that's sci-fi style. However, though, it's very nice how Hasbro actually pulled a fast one on laws here, because it's still here, guys, even though it's not really a comfortable grip in an adult's hand, maybe not even a kid's hand at that. But if the wire does get in the way, you can actually move it back here with a little bit of stretching, and then you could get a little more of a better grip. Oh well, it's supposed to be a submarine, as mentioned. Yay, submarine. Why not? Go ahead and untab this here, and let's take Shockwave into his robot mode. So to start things off, what you want to do is flip down this panel here. That should open up. Fold it up, get it out of the way, bring down his arms like so, flip this whole entire piece around like this. Two tabs are going to go into two slots in the back of it, and that's going to give him his traditional backpack. What we can do next is separate the legs, fold down the tower bit, come in here and swing out his legs, just like that. Repeat the same process on this side here, and bring down the tower all the way, and we're going to fold it on this hinge all the way around. And there's a tab right here that's going to fit into this slot right here where my thumb's pointing at. Give enough force, push that in like so to complete one leg. Repeat the same thing on this side, fold down, fold in, line up the tab with the slot, and there we go. Rotate the leg around so we can have his actual feet facing forward. Come up to the chest section and push it forward to open up this compartment and flip out his head. Go ahead and push all this back. Line it up just right. Last thing to do is to come over here at the bottom of his forearm and plug in the wire. And there you go. There's Shockwave in his robot mode. Definitely Generation 1 looks so cool. And I'm also noticing that in this glare here on his chest, seems to be a marking right there. I don't know what that is, but I'll try to get it off later. But as you can see with the detail of the head, we do have another light piping piece here for his eyes. So once again, light goes on, light goes off. Testing out the light piping feature, and look at that glow. Wow, that is amazing! I love light piping! And taking a look at the chest detail, this is actually clear plastic that's painted on the inside silver, so it really does make this pop. You can see all the mechanical bits, very nice. And taking a look at the ab section, very nicely detailed. Here's a look at the crotch section. Here's a look at some of the detail on the thigh of the figure. And here's a good look at everything that's offered at the leg. One thing that I really do like about this figure is that he's not afraid to show his side. As you can see, we got Decepticon symbols all around on both forearms. Very nice. Here's a look at the giant backpack on the back of the figure. Well, okay, it's not that bad looking. I mean, I've seen worse. And here's a look once again at the lower section of the figure from the back. Some magnificent detail here for the heel spurs. That's so good. The figure also does sport some weathering effect here, you know, as he's been through combat, which is the whole entire gimmick of this line. But if there's one minor nitpick about this figure, there's not enough of that paint application. Besides the lower section of the figure, there really isn't anything to cry about war. I can't even say that this is 50-50. Oh well, some people like it and a lot of people really don't like it, so I guess Hasbro's starting to listen to a majority of the side. So moving right along to the articulation, the action figure does have a ball jointed head, does have a hinge joint at the shoulder, do have a swivel cut that can get a full rotation as long as the wire's not attached. The shoulder also has some inward and outward movement, which that add-on there does add quite a bit of range. We do have a swivel cut at the bicep. The figure has single jointed elbows that does at least get 9 degrees of bend. There's wrist rotation as well. That's to be expected on both sides. We have a swivel cut at the waist section. The legs have some nice clicking joints with this much kicking forward at the hips, that much going back. And Shockwave can in fact pull off a very nice JCVD split, so there's your still quality, people. Enjoy it. We do have a swivel cut at the thigh section. Figure has some very tight clicking joints at the knee section that does allow at least 9 degrees of bend since it is single jointed. The only bit of articulation at the feet is an ankle rocker pivot, but that's due to the engineering of this figure. But if only we could display this figure on a surfboard or something, it would look very nice. Oh wait, we can. So this transformation is quite simple. What you want to do is you want to untab this section here and untab this one like so. Come to this piece here, and what we're going to do is we're going to rotate these down like so. We can take this bit here, and on this hole right here where my thumb is pointing at, we're going to apply it right here to this tab. Peg it in very nicely. Repeat the same process on this side here. Tab in the hole like so. There's a tab right here that's going to coincide with that slot right there. Getting these bits to stay together is a bit of a challenge, but you'll get used to it after a while. What we need to do next is flip off these fins here like so. So that way we can take this bit right here, and it's going to take this giant peg right here, and we're going to tab it in right here to that hole. Repeat the same process on this side here, just to your liking. And here we have a very nice hover vehicle surfing board thingamajiggy. Of course, what Shockwave wouldn't want this? So we can take this tab right here and we're going to plug it in right to that hole. Personally, I like him looking all silly as hell on this thing. Of course, though, it's your figure. Display it however you want on the board. The only thing is, there's not that much room to actually pose the guy on it. Of course, if you want to display it on it just in a normal A stance, it is possible. The only problem is, this back piece likes to detach very easily, so you might have to come back and keep tabbing that back in. It's a nice add-on to this leader class action figure set, but I think it needed a little more time back in the oven. Alright guys, it's that time to do some size comparison, so let's dare to compare with some other Warfare Cybertron figures such as Voyager class Optimus Prime and Voyager class Megatron, and now you can see where this figure actually fits in scale with this line. Being a leader class figure is a bit of a stretch, but we've got one other available option when it comes to displaying this figure, and we're going to take a look at it right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this thing apart again, just like removing all this stuff like we did before. Go ahead and unpeg this top section on both sides. And now that we've got this mess here, the transformation can begin into his super battle mode, or as the packaging calls it, combat ready. Anyway, let's do this! So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top. Taking a look at this bit here, it's going to become his new feet. Go ahead and peg that in, make sure it's flush. Take this fin section and fold it all the way up. And repeat the same process on this side here. Like so. Fold that up. And there we go. There's his feet. Next, what we're going to do is rotate the figure around so I can show off that this is going to become his new backpack section. Yay, more top heaviness. So these bottom sections here are going to come out on the hinge like so. You can swing them back just a little bit more, just like that, for a more dynamic looking position. Go ahead and fold these hinges up like so you can get some clearance. 2, peg it in from the top like so. 1 peg on this side, 1 peg on that side. They're going to coincide with some holes down here. Just make sure the wire's out of the way, just like that. And here we have a good portion of this armor all set and ready to go. Let's finish it up. So for the shoulders, what we're going to do is we're going to untab this forearm section and swing it around this way. Repeat the same thing on this side here and swing it around. Make sure to straighten out his shoulders here. There's a peg right there that's going to coincide with that hole right there on his shoulder. Get it to fit past this little tab right here. And then you can line it up and slide it down like so. Come to the right side, do the same thing. Just slide it past that peg and then slide it down just like that. Now the instructions do tell you to untab the wire here from his actual forearm and put it in this alternate forearm right here. And taking a look at Shockwave in his combat ready armor, this is a beast, and this is what makes it a leader class figure. Again, everyone has their preference. I like this figure the way he looks. With 4 arms and some cannons down here for his toes, he's ready to murder some Autobots. And taking a good look at the detail all around on this armor set, it looks very nice. We have some hidden turrets here, which you can actually fold out if you want to, but they serve no purpose because they can't shoot anything except for his backpack. So let's just go ahead and fold that back in. There's a look at his add-on feet here. Very nice. It's got some cannon toes. I'm loving it. And the best part about this is that the light piping still fully functions with no hindrance whatsoever by this giant thing in the back. Another good thing about this figure is that with this armor on, the articulation is still one and the same as previously mentioned. But the best part about it is that this actually adds on more articulation to the action figure. So we have a swivel cut above this forearm section, and we got double jointed elbows, which means you get more than 9 degrees of bend on this armor. The same thing can be said on this side over here since it's pretty much one and the same. And you do get a little more when it comes to the ankle rocker pivot at the feet with this add-on because it's not touching anything. It's pretty much cleared the base. And once again, posing Shockwave, especially with this armor on, has no problems whatsoever. And here's one last look at the 2 Voyager figures compared to the leader class Shockwave figure, and as you can see, he did grow up some bit. Not much, but some bit. Final thoughts on Shockwave. I think this figure is incredible. I love it so much. It's definitely Generation 1 accurate as it can come out of this line. It has quite the amount of detail. He's lacking thereat when it comes to the battle damage, but he is armed to the teeth with all this armor here, and this really does make him look amazing. Some people can complain all they want about this being a Voyager class figure in the rank of a leader class scale, but as it stands, I think all this additional plastic used here to create this battle armor totally makes up for that price. If anything, they could have thrown in maybe some LEDs, maybe for the eyes, or maybe even the front section here, which is the backpack at the moment. Regardless though, it's your preference. I mean, if you love Generation 1 Shockwave, this is as close as you're going to get so far when it comes to a Voyager class figure, which a lot of people have been dying for, and we finally got it. Hasbro and Takara Tomy are totally listening, and I just love this figure so much. He's so cool. He's one of the best, if not the best, come out of the C.H.U.G line so far. Regardless of what you think about the price and the scale on this figure, he's a must-have if you really are into the C.H.U.G line. You don't want to pass up on Shockwave. He's as great as they come. But how long will we hold on to that title reign? Only time will tell, because we got another to look at very shortly. So questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, my friends, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Hasbro signing off by saying, when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams. Siege the moment. Thanks for watching.